but it's a competitive group that trusts the confidence that they were taking from player development, from the film sessions, and from being around each other and trying to put it in basketball games.
Awesome. That's all for me, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Christy?
Hey, Coach, great win. What did you like most about how you dominated in the painted area on both sides?
I think just the awareness. Yeah, the awareness. I mean, the
Washington Mystics. Head coach, Sidney Johnson, has been drawing attention for the way he has spoken about his team's identity. And what separates their approach from what observers are watching unfold in Indiana. Through 3 games, Johnson's press conference comments have painted a picture of an organization pulling in a clear direction. A contrast that has not gone unnoticed. When asked how he prepared his group for another overtime situation on the road, Johnson pointed back to training camp and even last season as the foundation. His emphasis has consistently been on toughness and unity, and he made clear that when those standards slip, players hear about it. The message is simple, but the consistency behind it appears to be what is making it stick. On the paint dominance, Washington displayed on both ends of the floor, Johnson credited awareness as the primary factor.
In the painted area on both sides.
I think just the awareness. Yeah, the awareness. I mean, the 2Ks are quite special. And Lauren and Angela, that front court there with those 4 players. And I know that Lauren and Angela are still getting their feet wet, but the 4 of them are quite have quite an impact on the game. And it makes sense that Kira and Kiki would start pretty strong and be the spearhead of that.
The front court combination of Kiki, Iriafen, and Kira, alongside Lauren and Angela, still finding their footing, has already shown considerable impact. Johnson singled out Iriafen and Kira, not just for their scoring and rebounding, but specifically for their defensive rotations, the kind of higher-level instincts that go beyond blocks and boards and reflect genuine defensive intelligence. Sonia, Citron's 30-point career-high performance generated significant discussion, and Johnson's explanation for how it happened was straightforward. The coaching staff has been encouraging her to shoot when open, and the results have followed. Johnson noted that Citron rarely forces bad attempts, and when she does let it fly, the shots are high quality. He also highlighted Kira's 4 assists as evidence of real offensive growth, calling it development happening in real time.
But you're going to see good play out of Lauren and Angela as well. So I think what I like is the awareness of the team that is a strength of ours. And then Kiki and Kira, and that's on offense. And in particular, Kiki and Kira have been outstanding defensively. There's some big time moments, not just block shots, not just defensive rebounds, but rotations and awareness, things that are kind of that higher.
After Citron's half-court attempt sent the game to overtime, Johnson addressed how the team reset emotionally. He acknowledged they were frustrated. He was not asking them to feel otherwise, but return to the same theme that has defined his messaging all season: staying together and remaining mentally and physically tough, regardless of circumstances. That discipline, he said, is its own kind of victory. Separate from the scoreboard, rookie contributions also drew praise. Rory's closeout on Kelsey Mitchell on the final regulation possession and Cody's 30-minute debut were held up as examples of what player development investment produces. Johnson gave direct credit to team president Michael Winger for establishing a culture where development is prioritized at every roster level.
Rotations and awareness, things that are kind of that higher level stuff that I'm really pleased to see from them.
One more quickly, just about Sony, and just obviously with the 30 points, but how she was able to dissect and get those 30 points and the execution to do that. What did you like most about her decision making to score a career high tonight?
Well, we're encouraging her to shoot when she's open.
Okay.
It's quite simple.
He described daily individual work, court sessions, film, one-on-one conversations. As the reason players are ready when their moment arrives. On Cody specifically, Johnson noted she was a coveted target on draft night. Her two-way ability, work ethic, and composure upon arrival gave the staff confidence to play her significant minutes immediately, despite missing the first 2 games with an injury. What stood out most was her ability to impact both ends of the floor, something many rookies can only do on one side. Defensively, the Mystics entered the game ranked 3rd in the league. Johnson acknowledged there is still room to grow but pointed to the offseason additions, athletes with length, grit, and versatility, as the building blocks behind the early defensive results.
It's quite simple. And you know, there are times where people might be close, but doesn't mean they're guarding her.
Right.
And so just encouraging her to, they're good shots when she lets it fly. She rarely, if ever, takes any kind of heat checks or bad opportunities, and at the same time, she'll share the ball. I mean, 4 assists.
The goal is to continue building on that foundation as the season develops. Caitlin Clark came within 2 assists of making WNBA history, becoming the only player ever to record multiple 30-point, 10-assist games. And the reason she fell short has nothing to do with how she played. 2 assists were not credited to her by the official scorers. The first came on a drive where Clark pushed the ball up the floor, drew the defense, and flipped it back to Kelsey Mitchell for an open 3. Standard read, clean execution, basket scored, no assist recorded. The second came on a drive where Clark pulled 2 defenders toward her and delivered a pass to a cutting teammate.
4 assists. I'm really impressed, by the way, with Kira's passing. For her to lead us in assists really shows the growth of her game, and it's happening right before our eyes. But anyway, with Sonia, just, hey, shoot when you're open.
Thank you.
Andrew?
Thanks as always, Coach. Congrats on that thrilling victory. When Sonia made that half-court shot there, and it was just too late after the buzzer there, your team was able to respond and refocus.
There has been debate about whether the ball was tipped in transit, but a careful look at the rotation and the position of Lauren Betts' hand in the frame shows no deflection. The ball travels cleanly to its target. No assist recorded there either. A third play compounded the frustration from a different angle. Clark threw a bounce pass directly to Mitchell.
And have a great start in overtime. Talk about that whole moment that you had with them there and how they refocus.
Yeah, I mean, they're not robots. I'm not asking them to be. So I think they were pretty bummed in terms of, how that last, about a minute and a half, 2 minutes ended in regulation. And so, but again, and I'm just going to kind of keep talking about this all season long. Like we definitely want to win basketball games. This is the pros. Like, we're not running from that.
While the ball was still in the air, Mitchell tripped over herself and knocked it out of bounds with her knee. The possession was logged as a Clark turnover. These are not marginal judgment calls. A player falling and redirecting a ball mid-pass is not a bad pass. A drive and kick that produces an open 3 is an assist by any reasonable definition of the term.
This is the pros. Like, we're not running from that. But it really is important to me how they go about their business in the pursuit of that, and to stay together and to stay mentally and physically tough in the face of all things that come your way. Those are wins. those are wins, whether it's in practice or in games. And so I was just really happy that they just stay true. Just stay true to who we want to be, even if
And a clean delivery to a cutter who converts is textbook. The significance goes beyond the historical footnote. In the WNBA, awards are determined by statistics, MVP races, all WNBA selections, and end-of-season recognition all run through the box score. Whether a specific pass gets logged correctly has no bearing on the outcome of the game. But it absolutely has bearing on where a player finishes in award voting at the end of the year.
Deflected pass. People are like, oh, the pass got tipped. This pass did not get tipped. The person whose hand looks like it tips the ball is Lauren it's Lauren Betts. When she throws the pass here, like the hand, actually no, sorry, Douglas. That hand does not hit the ball. You can see, look at the way the ball rotates. There is no tip on this pass. That is a pass directly to Mo Billings. No assist. Caitlin Clark made history. She made history yesterday. And
Clark is currently tracking as a genuine MVP candidate. Having 2 plays misclassified in a single game is not trivial context. This is also not an isolated pattern. Paige Buchers has had similar issues. On the other end, passes tipped away from behind, possessions that were listed as her turnovers, when the play-by-play would suggest otherwise. At one point this season, a pass she launched that struck a teammate's foot, while that teammate had her back turned, was recorded as the teammate's turnover.
And 2 of her assists were not given. And by the way, one of them was not given until about 4 possessions later. Another one, where she passed the ball to Maisha Hines-Allen for an open layup. She passed the ball to Hines-Allen, and Hines-Allen took an open layup. And it took them till like 4 possessions later. It took them till like 4 possessions later to to basically go and give it to her. So we're seeing a play.
One deflected possession was logged as an Indiana Fever offensive rebound rather than anyone's turnover. The inconsistency in how plays are assigned runs in a very clear direction for certain players. Clark has dealt with this since her rookie year. Early in that season, she delivered a pass to a teammate who took a single dribble and knocked it off her own foot. The turnover was credited to Clark.
Oh, and give it to her. So we're seeing a player clearly getting screwed over by sack keepers. Not only that, one of Caitlin Clark's turnovers, I'm not even joking. Caitlin Clark threw a bounce pass to Kelsey Mitchell. And while the pass was traveling, Kelsey Mitchell tripped over and kneed the ball out of bounds. The ball was the ball was just there. Instead of catching it, because she tripped over herself, she tried to catch it with her knee and kneed the ball out of bounds. So a player falling over.
There has consistently been no benefit of the doubt extended in her direction. The Indiana Fever organization has standing to contest these calls through official league channels. And there is incentive for them to do so if Clark is in the MVP conversation. And right now she is. Having 2 assists scrubbed from a single performance matters. Whether the front office will push the issue is a. This is a preview. Separate question. And the answer to that question says something about how they view their own players' future with the team. The attendance picture adds another layer.
Knocking a ball out of bounds is a Caitlin Clark turnover. This is why the box score merchants, it doesn't really matter. But the problem is that this matters for MVP. And look, are the Indiana Fever going to win enough games for Caitlin Clark to win MVP? Probably not. If Aaliyah goes down, you're looking at a team that probably won't make the playoffs. We got to be real here. If Aaliyah goes down, Steph White is a coach. Without Aaliyah, without a roster that can pull off bullshit like last year.
For the first time since Clark was drafted, a Fever home game drew under 16,000 fans. Tickets were available for $5, less than the price of a fast food meal, and roughly 1,600 seats went unfilled. That figure would have been unthinkable 18 months ago, and it is the kind of data point that organizations monitor closely when making long-term roster decisions. The 2 missing assists did not change the result, but in a league where accolades are built from cumulative statistics and where a single category can swing a vote, the sloppiness of the record-keeping is a real problem, particularly for a player who the numbers suggest deserves better.
Like last year, you look at potentially trading Kelsey Mitchell or trading Caitlin Clark if you're Indiana, because you're either going to lose Kelsey Mitchell for nothing at the end of the year and get something for her, or you might win too many games if you keep both of them. But yeah, it's one of these things where I'm like, when it comes down to it in the WNBA, the stat keepers are horrendous. That being said, when it comes down to it, they are so bad, but it's always certain players. And by the way, Angel Reese gets fucked by the stat keepers too. It's always certain players. But Paige Beckers will turn the ball over and it will be given as a team turnover. Paige Beckers has literally come down with a rebound, tried to put the ball on the floor, and got it tipped from behind 4 times this season. One of them has been called as her turnover. 2 of them have been called. One of them was called as a team turnover. 2 of them were called as team turnovers. One of them, it got tipped, and then she launched the ball at Arike's foot. One was given as an Arike turnover because Paige launched the ball at her foot when she had her back turned, and one was given as a Paige launched the ball at her foot when she had her back turned, and one was given as a no rebound. One was given as a missed rebound and an offensive rebound for the Indiana Fever. And we are literally looking at stat keepers doing everything they can to make sure as hell some players have as few turnovers as possible. And when it's Caitlin, there's never been, even from the time she's been in the league, there's never been a benefit of the doubt. Caitlin has thrown passes in her rookie season. She threw a pass. Her teammate caught